Here. It's Friday edition here. We got your episode 178. It's calling all playoff teams because this is the last week, Craig, of the NFL, and um, it's been a doozy. How you been there, Craig?
Howdy. Long week.
Isn't it always a long week?
Yeah, you
Are
can
you
say
are you
that.
working tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm off tomorrow. I lucked out because because Kelly made the schedule and left me off of it. So fun stuff. We'll get into that. It's later on though in the What's in Our Locker section portion of the podcast. But we got your pick'ems for Week 18. We're gonna go off of the playoff clinching scenarios in this weekend's games. We got the NCAA championship and all the headlines, guys. Right after this. All right, guys, welcome in. It's the Outspoken Network here, Sportscast Edition, episode 178, calling all playoff teams. We're going to break down the last couple matches we got this weekend for clinching playoff spots. We're going to give you our pick'ems and much more on this episode. Now, mine and Craig's pick'em game is coming down to the very last game. We're both tied at 8-7, and it comes down to this week. Whoever wins this week will win the bet. And it sucks, though. We just talked about this. It sucks because it's the last week. Teams are going to be sitting players, sitting quarterbacks, and you don't really know who or what and who's going to win these games. So it makes it a little more difficult to figure that out. But we shall see. So let's look at the Week 18 games. We got some on. Don't forget, we got some Saturday games. We only got two now.
Two, yeah.
It looked like a lot more last time I looked at the schedule, but it's just two. So Saturday you got the Chiefs and Raiders playing. Raiders are playing for, I guess, they're still mathematically in it, aren't they?
No, I don't think
No?
so. I don't think.
thought
I
there
mean,
was a way.
if it is, it's the back
It's
track.
5 teams
Last
lose.
ditch. Everybody in the AFC loses. Yeah. I don't, because Miami, New England, Jacksonville, Tennessee is still kind of alive. If they lose, there's a or maybe it's Jacksonville. If Tennessee wins, Jacksonville's still alive somehow. I don't know, but I haven't heard the Raiders scenario.
Okay. Well, I don't know if the Chiefs are sitting Mahomes. They're still fighting for that number one spot. So I don't think they're going to be sitting anybody. I got the Chiefs taking down the Raiders. And
the Raiders have been eliminated from playoff contention. They have nothing to play for.
So yeah, we both got the Chiefs.
You have now just Kansas City going to make sure they're the number one.
You got the Chiefs?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I understand Jared Stidham tries to be Tom Brady and, throw for 3,000 yards.
He played great last week.
Yeah, he did. And so he's playing with house money. So I expect another sling it around the yard game, but that Kansas City defense is too tough. And I just don't, they got something to play for. And I think the starters probably play till halftime and wrap it up and move on.
Jacksonville or Tennessee at Jacksonville. That's a 7:00 game on Saturday night, and this is for the division. If Jags win, they'll win the division and go to the playoffs. If Titans win, they'll win the division and go to the playoffs. But the Titans are in shambles. Their quarterback injury this season. Jacksonville's going to win this one.
Yeah, Malik Willis is benched. I guess he's the backup. They're going to go with the Josh Dobbs show out there like they did for Dallas. And I just think Jacksonville has too much talent. They're too hot right now. Zay Jones and Lawrence have been on fire, and I fully expect them to go in and win by 10 or more.
We've got the Bucks playing the Falcons divisional game. The Bucks have pretty much won this division.
They already did. Yeah, it's locked up.
It's just not much
I
more
think
to play
Atlanta's
for.
eliminated, so I don't know if Brady plays tomorrow, unless he just wants to get some work in for playing Dallas or Philadelphia, because that's who he's going to play. Yeah, I mean, I don't see Atlanta. They
Bucks?
don't have, yeah.
Yeah, they're not a good football team. Your mic's out. Technical difficulties here on the show. We both had the Bucks winning the game.
Right.
Falcons. There you go. We both got the Bucks winning that one. That's gonna be a bad game. Patriots and Bills in New York. There in Buffalo. Patriots still alive for a playoff spot.
They hold their own destiny. They win and they're in. They don't need any help. They don't need anything except for they have to play Buffalo. And I think with everything that has happened over the course of the week, I think Buffalo goes out and just plays the game of their life. They're going to do one or two things. They're going to play the game of their life, or they're going to come out and just be flat. And I don't know which, but I think with everything that has happened this week, I think they're going to come out and fly around the field and try to. I think this injury and everything reignites
the fire.
The
Josh Allen
revenge tour fires off again, and
the 2.0.
I think it gives them the purpose. I believe the NFL allows them to put the number on their jersey or their helmet,
and the field as well.
And the field, yeah, and with the message that he sent today, I think these guys are ready to go run through a wall, and I think maybe if they're lucky, by the time the late round of the playoffs go on, he might get to come to the field and come to the locker room and make a speech and really ignite this thing off. So I just think Buffalo is going to be very tough to beat.
I agree. I wanted to go with the Patriots here because they still have something to play for. The Bills,
yeah, no, they absolutely do. They're going to give Buffalo their best shot.
But I just can't pick against the Buffalo Bills with all the with the great
emotion.
news we've got with Damar Hamlin, and we'll talk about that in a little bit here. Of some great news coming out of the hospital there, but give me the Bills there. We got Vikings and Bears. These two teams are playing for nothing. The Bears are starting what's his face, their third string quarterback. Yeah. He's completely terrible.
Yeah. And the Vikings, I don't see them starting Cousins or anything like that.
Nathan Peterman.
Yeah. I don't see Cousins or Cook or Justin Jefferson. I don't see anybody playing in this game. I absolutely don't.
Unwatchable game.
Yeah.
I still think the Vikings win this game.
No, absolutely. The Bears. I don't think the Bears want to win. I think they want the top draft pick they can get. That's why they're playing Peterman. They don't want Fields to run into a win against Minnesota backups. So their Peterman is he started in Buffalo, and how this kid still has an NFL career after the atrociousness of him playing quarterback. I'll never forget his first game. They said he could have thrown it into the ground
every
single time and had a better QBR than he had. Like I don't understand like
how does that happen?
What? So I mean, it was just atrocious, and he hasn't gotten a lot better, and I don't see him getting any better tomorrow or Sunday.
We have the Ravens traveling to the Bengals. This is probably one of the games you do want to watch. You got two teams still playing for something. The Baltimore still playing for the playoffs. You got the Bengals. Excuse me, still playing for a higher seed. As we'll get into the playoff picture here in a little bit, and to me, this is if the Ravens have Lamar Jackson, this could be a better game. But I got the Bengals winning this one.
Yeah,
I
and
just
my
think they're
concern
on fire
is
right now.
not for Sunday. My concern with the Ravens is for the playoffs. This injury has lingered a lot longer than what was anticipated. So I'm not sure Lamar Jackson is ready for wild card weekend.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing. Did you see? Something just popped up in my head. They were making fun of the Ravens because they got a deal done with the stadium.
Yeah.
Before they got a deal done with their quarterback. I just thought it was just kind of funny.
So I wonder if this isn't a play by Lamar to show how much he's needed, and if he wasn't ready for week one of the wild card, it wouldn't be shocking right now. So I'm gonna pick Cincinnati all day. I think they've got something to play for. They don't want the coin flip to take place.
Cincinnati they're heating up just like they were last year at this time. And
Absolutely. And that's why the cancellation of the Buffalo game is very difficult for me, because it affects them more than it does anybody in the AFC.
Yeah, let's get into that in a little bit here. Let you go on your rants. But Joe Cool, if anybody can handle it.
Oh yeah.
Joe Cool. You got Houston and Indianapolis. Talk about two unwatchable teams. I got Houston
draft pick bowl.
Yeah, this could be the number one pick bowl. I got Houston winning this one. I just think they have more fight than the Colts.
They have been playing better as of late. So yeah, I mean they took Dallas into late. They took Kansas City late. They won a game against somebody here and just recently. So yeah, they give me them as well.
Next, you got Jets traveling to Miami. apparently the Mike Daniels keep my job bowl.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. This team is going to make my blood pressure. This ownership group is going to make my blood pressure quadruple.
This might be this might be our different game, because I'm going with the Jets here. I'm going. The Dolphins are playing they're playing a third string quarterback. The Jets are starting Joe Flacco. If that doesn't tell you how much they don't believe in Zach Wilson, they're starting Joe Flacco.
That's what I'm trying to say. They can sit here and tell you that they're not give up on him, not going to give up on him, not going to give up on him. But here's the game that he should be playing, and he's not. And I mean, he is going to be the backup because White's ribs are still a no-go. But I mean, there's no reason not to play the kid. You have nothing to play for. Here is the exact deal. You could send the Miami Dolphins home. You could do this. You could do that. It's a big game for him to go out and play. And
see, I made this pick thinking Tua was playing, and it dawned on me. I still picked the Jets. I'm just.
I can't. I can't. Sure. I need to go with Miami. I can't see. Yeah, I just give me Miami.
Our pick'em game might come down to that. Miami Jets game. You got Panthers travel to the Saints. This is another meaningless game. Two teams just trying to finish on a strong note, I guess. And I picked the Saints to win this one because they're at home.
New Orleans looked good last week against Philly. Trying to end on a good note. They're at home. Panthers don't have anything to play for after last week's falling apart in the fourth quarter. Can't cover a wide receiver.
You got
Saints.
You got Browns traveling to Steelers. This is the keep Mike Tomlin's record alive bowl of his winning records, and they're still in. They're still in for playoff contention. The
I
wild
don't
card
know what
spot.
that scenario is, but they are still alive. I believe New England has to lose. I believe Miami has to lose. I believe Tennessee has to lose.
I just want Mike Tomlin's record to keep going. I think Mike Tomlin's a fantastic coach.
And I think it will.
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett
we
played
both
better as
got
of late. I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Chargers and Broncos. Give me the Chargers all day. I don't know if they're going to sit their backup quarterback, but I'm not picking Broncos to win another game until they prove me that they can do it.
No, and they're going to let Russ play, but I don't. Yeah, no. Give me LA.
Philadelphia versus the Giants. Now that the Giants said, "Hey, we're not gonna sit our guys," and now they're gonna sit their guys. This is for the number one seed. This is to lock up the number one seed and to lock up the NFC beast. I got the Eagles winning this game. The odds, they haven't said who's playing quarterback yet, but I think Hurts does come back this game, gives them a little jump start. The Giants have already made the playoffs. There's no reason to start your starters, and Eagles lock up everything this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I don't, as I'm telling you, that's a risk. It's a risk because Philadelphia runs the roulette of that shoulder being re-injured. Because I don't think he's healthy. I was watching practice the other day, and the quarterbacks are running through, and bang, they hit Minshew, and bang, they hit the next guy, and they tap Hurts on the knee with pad. You know, they were with the blocking pads, and they won't hit him above the waist. They won't deal. He will have a halo around him, and he won't be running. He will not be out there being himself. And as soon as this thing gets comfortable, Minshew will see the field. But it's an awful big risk with somebody just lands on it wrong, one hit, and this thing could be re-injured, and that could be for nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad spot to have your quarterback hurt, especially the guy that's running his team. And we'll see. We'll see how bad this injury is. What is the injury? If they've come out and said, do we know exactly what this injury is? How long it takes to heal usually?
It's an AC injury. It's basically it's on the brink of being a separated shoulder. That's why they called it. That's why there was 3 different reports of shoulder and collarbone, and it's basically his joint where the shoulder goes into the deal, and it's his throwing shoulder. And so I mean, if he lands on it, if he overexerts it, if he's running and deal, and with the way the Giants play, I don't put that past somebody to land on that and try to make their own path to the playoffs a little easier, because the 1 seed has Gardner Minshew. If I'm the Eagles, I just don't know if it's worth it. But
I think it's worth it, honestly. I mean, first seed, you get to buy, that's another week of rest, and then you get home field advantage.
Yeah.
Hopefully, your defense can shut the Giants down, and by halftime, you can pull.
Defense didn't play bad last week. It was the offense that couldn't get out of its own way. But the thing of it is you put Hurts in there to open up that other element of the offense, and I don't think that other element is going to be available this week. I don't think the threat of him running, if I'm the Giants, I don't worry about the threat of him running, because
you dare him to run.
Yeah, you do. You try to just goad him into bait him into running. Because I'd love nothing more than a linebacker to go flying across the deal and land on Hurts and see how that works out. And you don't think Kayvon Thibodeau will take a shot? If he's going sliding, he'll take the penalty and spear him and go after that shoulder. So we'll see.
I got my buddy Ryan messaging me about what we're talking about right now. I'm like, go to YouTube, jump on. He says it's an SC joint, not an AC joint for Hurts. He said it's completely different, and the reason why is you cannot be drugged. You cannot just go in there and give him some painkillers
Well,
and
you
get
don't want
going with
that.
him.
You don't want the you want him to be able to feel it, because if it gets worse, he needs to be able to tell you to deal. I don't know where he's finding that, because I've looked everywhere.
I don't know. I told him come on. He's on Facebook. We can't see Facebook comments. It's only on YouTube. I wish we could see all, but we don't. He might jump on here in a little bit. He's the other guy that comes on the show every now and then. He's the draft. He does our draft stuff too, but he wants to come on and give a Cowboy preview for the playoffs. But I said, well, you can do that. We can have you on the show when we're talking about the playoffs. So
he's still officially questionable.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to come out and say it, but they were talking today. In the odds,
once again
Vegas,
limited on Friday after previously being limited on Wednesday and Thursday. Again, all indications seem to point to Hurts playing.
Yeah,
he took first
even
team reps,
even the line says
and
line
his
of Vegas
teams
says that
have been
that
optimistic.
play.
Blah 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 blah.
The line of Vegas has him playing basically.
Jalen Hurts did not talk today. Gardner Minshew did. Minshew sounded as if Hurts would play, saying, I'm excited to see him.
Anyways, let's move on. Hopefully Ryan can get on here and find us.
One could be concerned that the Eagles are exposing Hurts to re-injury or worse by putting him out there. The Eagles are hoping that they can build a lead and Hurts can be pulled out of the game prior to the end. So just like I said, but it doesn't say anything about AC or SC or anything like that.
You got the Cardinals going to the 49ers. 49ers are going to win this game. It's just not even – the Cardinals are garbage.
Yeah, the Cardinals have David Blau, the Detroit practice squad guy, and I don't know if a win would save Kingsbury's job. I haven't heard the status of that at all.
He's done. He's
but the bottom line is the 49ers have something to play for here, and they're going to go in and should take care of that easily.
Rams travel to Seattle. Seattle's playing for the playoff lives. If they win and Green Bay loses, they're in. Baker Mayfield could surprise us. I got Seattle win this one in Seattle. If it was in LA, I'd probably go with the Rams with the 12th man up there in Seattle. It's going to be loud. I think the Seattle Seahawks win this game. You got Geno or Baker? I don't know.
Geno has been the Geno that I've known for years the last 5 weeks. God, Baker's looked good over there. Give me the Rams.
Got the Rams. Okay, so that's the only two different so far. Next, I know who you're picking. You got Dallas and the Commanders.
Yeah, Sam Howell is not.
Apparently, my buddy Ryan says he's apparently supposed to be the next big thing, and they really haven't.
But my concern is he had a very, very rough year the last year at North Carolina, and he hasn't seen a football field in over a year.
Bless you.
Thank you. So
we got a comment. Is this Ryan? Sorry.
He hasn't seen the football field in over a year.
Hot take. Well, Ryan, we haven't even got there yet, buddy.
Easy, pump the
hot
brakes.
take. We'll save that for in a second here. I would love that though. I would love that.
I mean, I don't think he's wrong. That's why I don't want them to make the playoffs, is because I think they can make a run.
So hold on. Well, first you're picking Dallas. I'm picking Dallas. Last game is Packers Lions. Now, if Packers do win, which I do have them winning, there'll be 5 straight games, 4-8 to 9-8, making the playoffs. And I want the Cowboys first because I want the drama. I love it. I want the drama between us. I love it.
I'm not coming to your house. That's not happening.
We might end in a fight.
That is not happening. Almost burned it down last time I was there.
Ryan says hot take Packers take down the 49ers first round. That could happen. And he says he's a Lions fan on Sunday. And it's what's funny is the biggest question mark is do the Cowboys do they want Tom Brady, who they've never beat, on the road, or do they want Aaron Rodgers at home and Green? It's just
they haven't beat him either.
Pick your poison.
And here's the deal, though. My problem with the way they did this is they put Packers and Lions on Sunday night, but the Lions, by the time they get there, may have nothing to play for. If Seattle beats the Rams, the Lions have nothing to play for.
They're just going to be playing spoiler.
They're going to be trying to play for Seattle. And can, as the head coach, you get a team up to play a football game in Green Bay in January when you have nothing to play for. Jared Goff has been on fire. He's had his yards per pass. He hasn't thrown a pick the last 6 weeks. But yes, Ryan's right. You want Tom Brady. That offensive line is worse. That offensive line is worse.
Do you though?
Yes.
Because I get that the Bucs aren't very good, but what you're saying is you'd rather be playing on the road in the playoffs instead of playing at home.
Yes.
And that home field advantage is huge.
Is it though?
It is.
You remember a couple years ago?
Well, I'm not saying against Aaron Rodgers
throwing one out of his knapsack and a tight end that's not even in the league anymore.
I'm not saying against Aaron Rodgers. I'm saying if you make it past it, what you should.
But you're not going to get team. Only going to get one home game. You'll get one home game, and you're not going to get it if the Giants go and lay down tomorrow. There's nothing you can control. If you can control it, yes, but you can't control it. The Giants are going to go lay down, and by 4:30, this thing is going to be over.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm very aware. Aaron Rodgers undefeated in your stadium. He owns a suite up there next to Jerry Jones with the Super Bowl ring
and
there as well. It's beautiful.
And I don't trust.
Never lost.
I don't trust that Mike Evans can't go run 9 routes like he did against Carolina and do the same thing. You hope Diggs can lock him down, but I don't trust the other side of the corner. I don't trust Nashawn Wright. I damn sure don't trust boss man Fad over there. He missed practice this week because he had a toothache. Well, yada yada yada. And I mean, Denard Bland will. But do you play Bland in the slot or do you play him on the outside? I mean, the bottom line is somebody.
You don't put him up against Christian Watson. I'll tell you that.
No. Well, no.
We've seen that before.
That's Joseph. That's burnt man toast. That's burnt man toast over there.
Now look, I'm not trying to get ahead, okay? Because the Packers still got to go out and win.
Hopefully home Seattle field in January. I think you're.
Oh yeah, Ryan says his dream scenario is Seattle. Definitely, you get Geno Smith out there against a bad team at home.
Because the Lions gave you everything you could handle for 3.5 quarters.
The Lions always play Green Bay well, so I'm not going to this game thinking it's automatic.
They beat them earlier in the year.
We're playing...
And if this game was in Detroit, I would say let's Katie bar the door and we're in thing. But I just don't.
We're winning despite Aaron Rodgers right now. We're playing really good defense. Our special teams has turned a 180 since we added the right guy back there in Nixon, who hasn't played the whole season, and he leads the league in kick return yards. He took one back last week to the end zone. So we keep playing those, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't kill us, then we're kind of on a roll right now.
Detroit's special team isn't exactly great,
and their defense hasn't been. It's been garbage.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into the playoff scenario here, because there's still a lot of games this week. that are going to depend on who wins, who loses. Let's start with the AFC playoff clinching scenarios. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. They clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs with a win or a Buffalo loss. So they don't even have to win that to get home field advantage there.
Yeah. But I don't think
they're not. He's bringing it back in this. Why are they dumb? I get that he's hurt, but
I agree.
Winning this game is everything for them right now. They have to make sure they win.
Are you telling me that Gardner Minshew can't beat the backup Giants?
He didn't do it. What did he do against the Saints?
Can you tell me
nothing? 10 points. 10 points.
But you can name Andy Dalton. Can you name the backup quarterback in is it Tyrod Taylor?
For
the Giants?
Tyrod Taylor can play.
If that's Tyrod Taylor, I'm asking you. I can't tell you right now who the Giants' backup is. Well, it was supposed to be Tyrod Taylor, but he got hurt, and you haven't heard that name all season. I don't know if he's still on the roster.
Let's see who we have.
We might have some guy from
AJ McCarron.
Oh, okay. There we go.
AJ McCarron.
So you're going to tell me that
Taylor. I'm going to tell you any given Sunday.
I'm going to tell you you're on drugs because there's no way that in Philadelphia.
Look,
yeah, Hurts 100%. He's 100% right.
Hurts.
If he breaks his collarbone tomorrow, then it doesn't. You can one seed it up.
Tyrod's getting the start. If you're telling me, Tyrod Taylor's playing, I'm playing Hurts. Tyrod Taylor can get you the win. Okay.
I don't know who the backup running back is.
You're gonna play for that first round bye. That's another week off to heal his shoulder, and you're gonna get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Those are two things you want. Not for Green Bay because we get the first seed back-to-back years and we suck. The Eagles want that. I have no problem with him playing Hurts. No problem.
Until I'm texting you going, Jalen Hurts is leaving on a stretcher.
Well, then that's the risk they take. But I'm taking the risk if I'm Philly. I wonder if we have any Philly fans out there. I want to hear their sides because you're both Dallas Cowboy fans. But
Sirianni gets fired year one for
no
poor decision making.
Sirianni's a good coach. Tyrod can win, bro. Tyrod's not that bad.
If it's Tyrod Taylor, I don't trust AJ McCarron, at all. I mean,
you go from the first seed to the what? The wild card
5. You go from 1 to 5. That's it. Those are your two options.
I'm fighting for that 1 seed.
Either they're gonna have a bye or they're going to Tampa.
Yeah, take the bye. I'm going all out for it. Hopefully. But first, because no one wants Tom Brady in the playoffs. Who wants Tom Brady in the playoffs?
Yeah, nobody.
I'll take a first-round bye.
Nobody wants Rodgers. Nobody wants Brady. That's why we wanted both y'all to suck it up and lose one more game somewhere along the lines and not have to deal with this.
Well,
it went from the easiest run to being the gauntlet of goats over here.
The gauntlet of goats. If Tua could stop having concussions, they probably win that game, and we're not having this discussion.
Yeah. If Tua had stopped dying on the football field.
Oh, all right. Well,
or remembered what throws he made.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Take your bye week right now. Well, not everyone's getting a bye week right now, Ryan. It would just be your quarterback, which I get it is the biggest part.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Ryan's our other guy that comes on for our draft show, and he wants to. We're gonna come have him on for the playoff spot as well. So, he does know quite a bit about football. So I text him all the time. But anyways, you got Jacksonville is the next one. Jacksonville clinch the AFC South with a win or a tie. They also can clinch a playoff berth if Miami loses, plus New England loses, plus Pittsburgh loses. So Jacksonville, you might as well go ahead and just win on Saturday night and make it an easier decision for you. Tennessee's only way in is if they win. Win and you're in because you won your horrible division And if you lose, you're out. We both have Jacksonville winning that game. Um, um, and then you got Buffalo Bills. They can clinch home field advantage if they win, plus the KC loss. It's the only way the Bills will get home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Let's see. I'm interested to see Pittsburgh's here. You got New England Patriots win, and you're in, or they can also make it if Miami, Pittsburgh loses, and Jacksonville wins.
What now?
So if New England doesn't win, they can still
Okay.
make the playoffs if Miami loses,
Uh-huh.
Pittsburgh loses,
Uh-huh.
and Jacksonville wins.
Yeah.
Jags are going to win. Ryan agrees with us there. We picked Jacksonville to win.
But so Pittsburgh's way in is a New England and a Miami loss.
Pittsburgh has to win.
Yep.
And have Miami and New England lose.
Yep. That's a possibility.
That is a possibility. And then Miami can clinch a playoff berth if they win and New England they got to win and have New England lose.
Yeah. The New England lose part is a solid chance.
Yeah. All right, NFC playoff clinching scenarios. You got Philadelphia they've already clinched they've already in the playoffs.
The teams are set.
Pretty much set except for 7.
Yes.
If they win, they get home field advantage. If they or if Dallas loses or San Francisco loses, you got, let's see, San Francisco can clinch with if they win and Philly loses, they can clinch the home field advantage, and then the Cowboys home field advantage throughout with a win plus a Philly loss and San Francisco loss, they would move up to the number 1 seed. You got Seattle if they win and Green Bay loses. Green Bay, the only way they get in is if they win, and then Detroit has to win and Seattle lose for Detroit to make the playoffs. So we're pretty much set there.
Yes, we have already.
Oh yes. Well, we talked about that a lot on Tuesday, and we also brought that up again this week. That game is the keep. I don't even care if they make the playoffs. This is the keep Mike Tomlin's record alive bowl. Because he's an amazing coach. What he's done there with the crazies he's had with on his team and keeping them always in the picture, the playoff picture is absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. With a JB squad, his horrible quarterbacks he's had this year. Do we think Pickett's the next guy? Do y'all like what you see so far?
He's been a little bit better as of late. He threw a real good pass to end the game to the rookie wide receiver streaking across the end zone. He threw a real good pass up the sideline to the running back and scored that touchdown with little time left. But he still has a lot of work to do. I mean, he still has a long way to go. But I mean, I don't know. Do I think he can win the game? I do. I mean, I think he can at least give him a chance to keep him in the game. We'll see, though.
Yeah, I think he's played pretty good this season. Big Ben does. Big Ben does what? We know what he does off the field, in bars and restaurants, but no, Mike Tomlin, his record is amazing, and
that's I think he's saying Ben believes in Pickett.
Oh, Ben believes in Pickett. Yeah, I mean Pickett is the real deal. Okay. I mean, I think they have found somebody that can lead them, and with the
at least they can work with them. I mean, they feel that they have potential, unlike the Zach Wilson deal, unlike the some of these other guys that Justin Fields and some of these guys that have come in and don't seem to be able to have a whole lot of potential at all. At least he's showing that he's responding to what the coaches are saying and trying to get better and putting in some work to try to not throw as many ill-advised throws and interceptions.
Yeah, it just takes work and time and adapting, and I think
Yeah,
this
the NFL's a new
staff,
speed. It's a different speed.
This coaching staff can get him where he needs to be with Mike Tomlin. But that's the biggest thing when you move on from a when you move on from a Hall of Fame quarterback to somebody else, it's kind of difficult unless you're Green Bay. We've been having this debate, Craig, okay, between me and Ryan. I said Rodgers is better than Favre. It's not even close as when you look at them throwing the football. They're both Favre off the field's a crappy piece of crap. and Rodgers is not so well liked. Who's better at football, Craig? Rodgers or Favre? To me, it's not even a question on who's better. Not even a question.
Favre is more of a gunslinger, and it's the risk and the reward. He takes all the risks. He will sit there and make the same throw 13 times, and 12 of them might be picked off, and he'll come back to the sideline and go, I can make that throw. And then the next time when you need it, he'll make it. And so that is Rodgers talent-wise is better. He has more talent. But yardage-wise, game-wise, winning-wise, I mean, I think Favre has he just won more big games. Rodgers just can't seem to win a big game. So if I was going to pick to start the franchise, I think Favre would be my choice because of just the winning. Like, you just get a guy who somehow when
they both
came
won.
down,
I mean, they have one Super Bowl,
but when it comes down to it, in a timely manner, like
it's kind of they basically when we're talking up wins and you're talking up big games, they both have one Super Bowl. That's it.
Yeah.
To me, if you watch both of them play, Favre's, and I love Favre. Favre's the reason I am a Packer fan, but Rodgers by far is better in my opinion than Favre was, and it kills me to say. Favre was still doing it in his 40s for the Vikings. Rodgers in his late 30s is starting to be washed. Well, also Rodgers is also that's my boy Craig. He just hates Aaron Rodgers. He can't stand him.
No,
now look,
I mean that's
look. It's Aaron Rodgers has been playing with a broken thumb all year. All right, is he washed? Is he hurt? I don't know. I don't know how you go from back.
That's my concern about not wanting him to come to AT&T Stadium. Is when we played him last time, he was hurt. Now he's not. I'm good.
I don't know if because I agree he hasn't played well this year. But the Green Bay Packer fans drinking that Kool-Aid will say, "Oh, he's doing what we ask of him." I'm like, that's the excuse you use for a rookie, not your $50 million quarterback. I don't know how you go from back-to-back MVPs to not playing so well.
I don't know how you go from wanting Team Tank 4 weeks ago to now you want to stay up on Sunday night and hope they make the playoffs.
Because they keep winning. We've already passed that, Craig. We've already passed Team Tank.
You were riding the Team Tank train.
Yes, I was. But when your team keeps winning, well, hell, that Team Tank's out the window. I might as well jump on board for this magical playoff
one game playoff run.
Yeah, Romo better than Aikman. I would agree there.
Same scenario. The gunslinger over the guy who had all the talent around him.
You give Romo or anybody that talent that Aikman had, they got the same amount of Super Bowls.
100%.
All right, well, all right, Ryan. I appreciate your comments here. We got to get going into the national championship, baby. TCU. TCU. I don't even have that on here, dang it. Oh, well, headlines of the week. TCU playing Georgia on Monday. And Ryan, if you do not know, Craig is a Michigan fan. So we tried not to rub it in. We rubbed it in last episode. I do have to say something, Craig. I appreciate you to be a good sport about that because that was quite funny, but it probably wasn't too funny for you.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
but I appreciate that.
I'll
You,
find
you
some
you'll
video
get me back.
highlights when Rogers is out here counting stars, getting sacked. Have
What's
you
the
heard that they're not letting anybody tailgate?
what? This is the dumbest thing. They let
You
them tailgate
cannot.
for NFL games.
No, I think it's a California.
No, it's not. It's not. It's an NCAA thing.
Oh, well, but that's
Because
weird because they had no problem at AT&T for the Big 12 championship.
they were talking about this, and we all blamed
Oh,
California.
okay.
Stupid
Brian.
California. But we, but where was it going with this? They said, they had people calling in on the radio show saying, I go to the Chargers games every Sunday and we tailgate. So this is not a California thing. It's actually the NCAA saying this, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it does not, because you let it for every other bowl game, every other. I think most semifinals had people out in the deal. Yeah, I have no idea. But so no tailgating, and the tickets have been cut in half. Yeah, 100%. The tickets have been cut in half what they would have been if Michigan and Ohio State. They said that they went from 1,000 down to 300. But I mean, 300 puts you up in the 500 section to where you're up on the rafters.
Is this a move to make more money for have people buy stuff in the stadium?
I think so, probably.
Because I mean, people usually I'll eat and people will do their drinking and then I'll get Ubered to the stadium.
Yeah,
you know.
But
what's the Georgia's 14.5 points
13
or 13
and a half last time? Knew I would take that all day long. I'd take that all day long after what TCU just showed.
I'm more. I didn't think we beat Michigan. We punched them in the mouth. Oh my gosh. Punched him in the mouth. I'm not gonna sit here and say Georgia's gonna just come in here and tear us a new one. I think we keep it close. I do think Georgia wins, but I'm not giving hope that TC will pull off the championship.
Question is, as Georgia's seen that 3-3-5 defense, because apparently Michigan has not, and so that was very confusing for about the whole game,
4 quarters.
Yeah. So because they never blocked your linebacker, and
D Winters was back there all night.
Yeah,
all night.
just living in the backfield, just paying rent back there. So I just think Georgia wins the game. I don't think they win it by 14 points.
Yeah, I think you're right too. I just
if I'm betting it, then I pick TCU. If I'm saying who wins the game outright and who hoists the trophy at the end of the night, I believe it's Georgia.
You know what's crazy? Georgia's quarterback is the same age as Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's
and last year I didn't give that kid an ounce of credit, and he slung the ball all over Michigan like it was like they were playing against the air. He threw the ball for 400 yards in the semifinal game last year against Michigan, and he was their backup. And that was the guy that they were debating on which quarterback to play last year, and they went with him. And I was like, woo! And then I was wrong. So
you got to give him his credit.
Yeah. So the kid could throw. He played big games, and if you give him time, you're gonna have to. If he has to move his feet and has to get out of the pocket, that's where he struggles. If he can stand back there and look down the field, he'll pick you apart.
And that's the thing is, I think this game's really going to come down to TCU's running game.
Yes.
And
ball control, and can you get pressure on the quarterback?
Yeah, and it's also going to be, because the Georgia wide receivers are fast. I saw one guy last week. I said, holy crap, this guy is super fast.
And TCU's, that one kid on the right side has a tendency to grab and hold on for dear life and tackle people when he
Yeah,
gets
I tagged
burned.
people.
So I
I
mean,
only saw it a
in
couple times
college,
there.
it's only 15 yards, but you can't keep giving up 15 yards every time you get burned.
Yep. So
So
unfortunately, I think Georgia wins, but TCU baby, let's go. Let's show them that the small school can do it. I mean, we're not really that small of a school, but we're not no Michigan or Alabama or
yeah.
Georgia or anything like that. But all right, guys, well, it's time for the headlines of the week. Right after this, Craig. All right. Well, we got some fantastic news out of the hospital from Damar. Damar Hamlin is breathing on his own. They got the breathing tube out. He's able to talk. He did a FaceTime with his teammates today, kind of giving them, showing them that, hey guys, I love you. Thank you for your support. It's just great news that we keep getting, that he's going to hopefully fully recover from this. From what we've been hearing from the doctors, is that his cognitive function is there and everything is still working great, and we really need to give our hats off to the medical staffs out there on the field that did their job, and this is really what saved his life, giving them the CPR and doing the defibrillator and knowing what they're doing out there on the field is what saved him. And the Bills coach talked about it today as well, just how fantastic these people are, and they are the real heroes here that need to be recognized. And it's fantastic job by them, and it just
Hopefully the NFL
exciting.
will Sunday in Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to standing ovation and to the nurses that are taking care of the hospital, and it
Yeah.
kind of it moves you, to know, because as a fan, you think about it like my team versus your team, rivals. We hate you, they hate us, and it's not really like that. It's kind of like a brotherhood.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, nobody wants to
and
see this.
yeah,
It
and when
doesn't
you
matter. I don't care if it's the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants or
yeah
I don't. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, but I wouldn't want to see him laying there lifeless on the field with people having to do CPR on him. It was a freak play. You hope that everything stays the way that it's trending. You hope that it sounded like him and T had a good visit, and he told Higgins, "Don't worry about it. It ain't you. Go back and continue what you do." Um, but my biggest question is when these two teams face, if these two teams face in the playoffs, uh, the level of emotion is going to be out of this world.
yeah.
And
Well, and
I,
the
I
two teams
understand
that
Cincinnati's not thinking about it right now, but they did get a bit of a short straw by if they have to go to Buffalo, because this would have determined head to head who got to go where in round two, and that's gonna cost Cincinnati. There's no way to get unless Buffalo loses to the Patriots, and I just don't see that happening. So I think that game, if those two play head to head, that has to be in a neutral field. But we'll hope the NFL makes that decision down the road. But the emotion in that game is going to be out of this world.
and
You know?
to go through what these two teams have on the field.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have a and how the two coaches handled it, and everything
Oh
that
yeah,
transpired. They have a lot of these two teams have a lot of respect for each other now,
absolutely, absolutely.
and
I'll never forget the look on Josh Allen's face. It was like he saw a ghost. I've never seen a young man he had no worry. Like his thought process of playing football at that point in time was gone. His
yeah,
thought process was one thing and one thing only, and is that young man okay? And that's what everybody. I mean, it was a transition from biggest game of the year to, oh my God, what happened in the blink of an
yeah,
eye?
too big a situation we've ever dealt with.
100%. And you can't fault the NFL because this is just
I was going to say next. People are so quick to kill the NFL or do this or the NFL is going to play. They didn't play the game, guys. And the NFL is not. It's not just a simple matter of, hey, let's just cancel this game. They are making decisions that is going to cost millions of dollars. Okay, they are. If they were to play this game next week, if it moved things back, you're moving the Super Bowl back. People bought plane tickets already for this. They bought tickets to Super Bowl already. You're changing up all different things, sponsors. A lot goes into these decisions. That's why they're not made in very hastily. They've got to put in the thought process of
you would just have to eliminate the bye the week in between.
Yeah.
You have a week to play with. So they could have done.
Once they did it during 9/11, the year 9/11.
Yeah.
They
canceled all those games on 9/11.
Yeah, they canceled the Pro Bowl. They moved the Super Bowl back, and it kind of went on from there.
And you just don't have the bye the week in between. The Pro Bowl. Scrap the flag football. Scrap the volleyball, tag, touch, dodgeball,
the pillow fight.
Yeah, scrap all that, and that would be your option. But
and
it seems like they have kind of a plan. In fact, it seems like it only affects Cincinnati, but at this point in time, we'll see how it plays out.
Kudos to Zach Taylor too.
Yeah.
He went up to the hospital. They said that the Bills Mafia called him out and said respect to him. He could have gone home to his family. He could have gone and be with his own team, but he went to the hospital as well and stayed up there all night there. So well-rounded leaders of men. Ryan says he liked the 8 teams idea.
Well,
now,
yes, no.
The NFL was floating around that to add 8 teams to the playoffs, and the number 1 team would no longer get a bye, and go from there. I don't know.
I would have been okay with it, but the fact of it is Washington would have been that number 8 team, and they probably play a different quarterback and go into things a little bit differently if they have that opportunity, and that game was already over and done with before, so
people made decisions on what was going to happen,
and so to reopen that after the fact and change. That's why I guess you should always play your best team and never, because you never know what's going to take place.
And speaking on that, I heard today, I'm glad you brought that back up, that Washington was going to start Taylor Heinicke. And Taylor Heinicke came to the management and said, hey, Sam Howell, is it? That's the third string. Yeah. He said he deserves a full game. And that's why they're going with Sam Howell over Taylor Heinicke.
Well, you know why though, right? Because Heineke's pissed.
Well,
because he had the locker room.
Yeah,
no, he had the locker room. He did all the legwork, and then they go and replace him the second that Carson Wentz is ready. I tell him to go pound sand too, and I'm going to find another team to play for next year. I wouldn't walk across the street for Ron Rivera right now.
No,
rightfully so.
He probably is pissed. I just think that's kind of big of him to go, hey, no, I'll give this start to this guy. Because he obviously knows they don't believe in him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So why would he even go out there?
Is he being the bigger person, or is he screwing the organization?
I think he's being the bigger person, the type of player
he might be for Sam, but I also I bet he's probably also back there hoping that, come on, pick 6.
I mean, the type of character that we've seen in his interviews, I would think that would be him, because he's been the underdog kid.
Heineke's fantasy football or DraftKings account and make sure he's not.
All right, let's get back on the headlines here, and I'll let you kind of explain this one because it's your team. Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh under investigation of violating recruiting rules and more. Craig, the floor is yours, buddy.
Okay, so apparently
Pete Carroll 2.0 over here.
Yes, apparently this is not from now. This is from the COVID year, where the NCAA had a dead period of, hey, safety of our coaches, our staff, our recruiters, our all these people that go into these houses and make these visits. They said, let's during this period, during the let's not go and make any visits in person. Try to do it over Zoom. Try to do it over deal. Well, Harbaugh just said, screw it, I'm going. And went to these people's houses and visited. And then he hired some defensive specialist to come to practice, which is, I guess, illegal. And had some guy probably from the NFL, I'm assuming, come and work with his defense in different techniques and different deal, and watched them practice and told them how to do stunts differently and whatever. And these are all like level 1 and level 2 violations, and they say that the level 1s are the highest. Those are the ones that'll come with the suspensions and the no bowl games and no playoffs or whatever. And they seem to think that these violations in themselves probably wouldn't have been too bad, but if they came to Michigan and said, hey, we think you did this, it appeared that Harbaugh was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What guys? I didn't know see, and they found out. So they said if they found out that you denied it, if you'd have just came, that's why you see all these colleges come and open their own investigation and bring the stuff to the NCAA, because then they're not hiding it. If the NCAA comes to you, they consider it being hush hush and hidden, and the violations are higher. I have a firm belief that Harbaugh got tipped off and knew it was coming, and he'll be out the door, and he's going to leave Michigan in shambles, just like
Pete Carroll 2.0.
Pete Carroll left USC. Because he was very adamant last year about we're not doing this every year. We're not going through this where my name's going to be thrown into NFL jobs every year. And here we are, year one, a deal. And he said he went and tried to walk it back and said, no, my plan is to be here in Michigan. But I promise you, if they announce that he's going to be suspended,
well, that's why he's taken, like, if you're Jim Harbaugh and you want to go back to the NFL, you're being picky. You're not just choosing whatever team. And we're talking with the Panthers. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
the Panthers suck. And the Broncos. Why would you take over
Panthers and the Broncos? Yeah, you don't want either one of those dumpster fires right
and
now.
because it's because he's going to be in trouble if he don't leave, and I think that's shady, and I hope he gets his comeuppance because he deserves it. Well, Ryan Sims, hope you're still on here because you're Texas Longhorns. And I don't know if we talked about this on Tuesday. Did we talk about this Tuesday? Fired.
No, yeah.
Chris Beard.
I think it came out Wednesday.
And thank you. Finally. And I will give you some respect there, Ryan, or Texas Longhorns here, some respect, because I usually don't respect you. They finally did the right thing here. They finally chose morals over a winning head coach. And Ryan texted me on Wednesday with a crying emoji. There goes our natty. There goes our natty. But look, Chris Beard, great coach of basketball, piece of crap on the outside. Like his fiance that he choked is taking back all the statements, but the cops are still charging him. Like she said, she wants no charges. They still have charges on him, which could lead to a 2 to 10 year sentence, by the way, in prison.
Yeah.
The cop said she had teeth marks on her face.
Yeah.
Like he bit her. Yeah. What is going through your head? Finally. And what's even fun, not funnier, there's nothing funny about the situation. What's even crazier is Beard's lawyer sent a letter out to the team and said, hey, you still need to keep him on, still keep him higher, still keep him here. And the team basically blasted that letter out and said, you're not owning up. You're not taking this serious. You don't understand how serious this situation is. And then because of this, and we're letting you go.
Yeah.
And it seems like he has no remorse of anything that happened.
Well, he doesn't. I mean, he's getting her to recant her story. He's put this letter out that says you can't fire me. You don't have any kind of proof. She's recanted the story. There's nothing. I haven't been charged. I haven't been arrested. There's no charges formally filed. We haven't been arraigned. We haven't seen the court. You can't file. You can't do any of this yet until you have proof or cause or whatever. And they saw that letter and went, this right here is why we're doing it, because you have not learned your lesson. And deal.
Ryan says, according to his attorney, the charges will be dropped, and Texas violated their agreement with Beard by firing him.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did.
And right now, the charges are not dropped. Right now, they're not.
Yeah, and I agree that it will be very hard for a district attorney to get him to stick if she refuses to testify against him. If that's their one witness, and she refuses to, if she goes in there and pleads the fifth, or if she goes in there and goes, no, I lied, or I made up some things that night. It was just emotional night. I said some things I didn't think. He said some things, and she recants what she said before, then the charges they'll have no choice but to drop them.
But I still think, in my opinion,
we both know what happened. We both know what happened, and that's what the Texas Longhorns are going after.
Able to fire him, regardless if these charges are dropped or not.
They might owe him a little bit more money, but they can still fire him.
Yeah,
they might be responsible for more of the payout. That's the only thing that's going to change. He will not have his job back. They might owe him part of the $35 million, but the bottom line is
he might get a job somewhere else, maybe.
Yeah,
but
right now they're saying he won't. They're saying right now but Bobby Petrino just got another job, so I mean, it happens.
Art Briles got he's in Texas coaching. Where's he coaching right now?
He's coaching some church school. He's an assistant. Yeah,
that's right.
He's not a head coach. He's an assistant, but still, he does have a job.
Yeah. And you're like, you really want these guys teaching young men? No,
that's my argument. That's been my argument the whole time. Texas did the exact right thing, because you don't want these guys going into mom and dad's houses and sitting in front of them and going, I'm going to take your kid and he's going to be with me for the next 4 years, and I'm going to teach him how to be a man. And they go, well, aren't you the guy that
beat your wife?
Yeah, smashed your wife and choked her and bit her arm and everything over Thanksgiving? No. That wasn't me. So apparently Texas said they would do a full investigation and see what happens with the charges before they fired him. They didn't do that. He can sue for the money. He can. He can sue for the $35 million. I don't know if there's a court. The wording of the contract will be the biggest thing. That's what they're fighting with all these contracts in Major League Baseball about, is the nomenclature. So these guys can't keep coming back and raking them for more money. So we'll see. But the bottom line is, I agree. We all know he was there. We all know he did it. We all know
Texas made the right decision. They did. And I got to give them a round of applause, because a lot of times winning will put all this. They will sweep it under the rug, a little slap on the wrist, and let's get back to winning. And they didn't.
Yeah, they could have suspended him and brought him back for the tournament, and so we'll see.
All right, we have one more here. One more, and that is the NFL approves a plan for possible neutral site AFC title game. This is kind of what you're talking about a little bit earlier. The AFC title game could be a neutral site depending on who's playing in it, because of what happened with them switching things around, not playing the Buffalo and Cincinnati game, and how that might change everything. So, let's see. Do you probably know more about that? You've been keeping up with more about that than I have, Craig. What games will be a neutral site if they play? If the teams plan on playing each other.
So if Kansas City and Buffalo win on Sunday. Well, Kansas City Saturday and Buffalo Sunday. Then the Kansas City Bills AFC Championship would be at a neutral site. If Kansas City and Buffalo lose and Baltimore wins, the AFC Championship will be at a neutral site if Kansas City and Buffalo play. If Kansas City and Buffalo lose and the Bengals win, then any matchup of those three teams will be at a neutral site in the AFC Championship game. There is no, from what I read, there is no neutral site for round 2. That's what bothers me, because at the way the seeding is going to be, if all three teams win on Sunday and Saturday, like I believe they will, then Kansas City will be the 1. They will get the bye. Buffalo will be the 2. They will play the 7th seed, which is going to be Jacksonville. Cincinnati will be the 3. They will play the 5 in Baltimore. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to break down.
No, because Jacksonville will be the 4 because they'll win the division. So 7 will be the Dolphins. So the Dolphins or the Patriots. So Buffalo will play the Patriots. Well, the Dolphins or Pittsburgh.
Well, we'll get to all that when we know the
yeah.
But
basically, as long as Kansas City wins, they're going to be the 1. As long as Buffalo wins, they're going to be the 2. And the only scenario to where the AFC Championship is fully, no matter what combination, would be if Buffalo and Kansas City lost and the Bengals won. If all three teams win, then the only way that the AFC Championship is a neutral site is if Buffalo and Kansas City meet, which I don't understand how Kansas City's getting a neutral game, how that's coming into play. But that's the scenario. That's the way I read it.
Yeah, and like I said, next week will be our playoff. When we know when the playoffs are set, we'll start breaking down the playoffs and go from there. But Ryan's trying to have his own Cowboy talk here. Ryan can talk about Cowboys all day. He says chances the Cowboys win 2 playoff games, I'd say slim. In my opinion, I think you win game 1, depending on who you play, and you probably lose week 2. In my opinion, you're done in the second round. It all depends. It all depends on how you play. If your defense shows up,
Dak Prescott needs to
stop throwing interceptions.
Oh,
he can't average 2 interceptions a game.
He doesn't average 2 interceptions a game. He only
regardless who it is, regardless whose fault it is, it cannot happen.
I remember that when Christian Watson throws one up in the air and they pick it off Sunday.
Christian Watson.
Yeah.
What?
I said I'll remember that when Watson bobbles one and they pick it off on Sunday.
No, he just drops them. He don't bobble them up. He just drops them.
So,
but we'll go from there, Ryan. Right, like I said, Ryan, I need to get you on our playoff. We might have you on our playoff show. Just depends. Good news is Jeff will be back soon. He put his 2 weeks in his job. He'll be back at his old job, which gives him plenty of time to be on the podcast on Friday. So Friday will be a 3-team show again, and maybe Ryan will be on Tuesday. I don't know. Every now and then we'll see. Maybe get him on the show every now and then. But Other than that, that's our show tonight, episode 178. Craig, what do you got going on in the locker room this weekend?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, not going to do much of
That could be a good
anything.
thing. That could be a good thing.
Feeling better, but still got some head congestion and stuff like that. So we're going to do nothing all weekend and try to get back to 100% and get this thing deal. So probably watch the footballs. My son's got a senior bonfire tomorrow night, so I'll go cart him up to that and drop him off and come back and watch football and go get him when he's done. And other than that, Sunday will be football all day, and hopefully we'll have all this thing worked out and it all goes as planned.
All right, sounds good, buddy. We never had bonfires up in
No,
the
I didn't have one when I was back graduating. It's something I would guess they've done. They had shirts made and everything. It says senior bonfire on it. This has been rescheduled. Was supposed to be in October sometime, and it rained, and so they're making it up. He might be the MVP, but he needs to learn how to stop flopping.
Luka.
Yeah. I watched that
will
game
not
last
be the MVP
night.
because the team is garbage.
Well, I watched that game last night, and I've never seen like he needs an Academy Award, bro.
Look, I'm not going to talk bad about Luka because he's the only thing we got.
I know, I understand that, but that was hard to watch. I mean, there was a play. He comes up the floor, bounces it, comes across center court. The guy tries to steal it from him. He flops and he looks at the ref, and the ball's rolling to center court and almost goes to be a backcourt violation. He realizes the ref's not going to call it, goes and runs it down, comes back, runs into the guy again, looks, no foul, and then pump fakes. The guy jumps up and he leans into him and throws it up in the air, and the ref finally goes, all right, foul, and he gets 3 free throws, and the guy from Boston's like, are you kidding me? He's like, that was the least of the 3. And Luka's just sitting there like, about time. Bro, just play basketball. Just stop trying to draw a foul on every play.
Is tough to watch sometimes.
When he throws the ball at the hoop, if it doesn't go in, he immediately looks at the ref. Well, apparently, I'm the greatest player in the world. If that didn't go in, it had to be a foul. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, I don't know how they're 4 in the West.
Ryan, we're the 4 seed in the West because we've played this 7-game streak we went on was terrible teams.
Yeah,
we played
Houston,
the Bulls
San
3
Antonio,
times. We played the Lakers.
Yeah,
we played the
the Knicks.
You finally played someone last night who could be the championship, and we got smoked.
Run out of the gym
because the freaking owner Mark Cuban sucks at his job. I
understand they have a lot of injuries right now. I get that.
We do have a lot of injuries, but even healthy, our players aren't that good.
But like Barkley said last night, you got to have somebody in the middle that can block a shot every once in a while, and you got to have somebody to help Luka. He can't score 80 a night. He just can't.
All right, Ryan. Every superstar does that. Yes, I was talking about you, Craig, and the flopping, and everyone does it. You're right. All right, enough about basketball. We'll get into basketball.
Not to that extent.
We'll get into basketball when the NFL season is over. It's time for my locker here. I've got to go to Mineola this weekend, so I'm driving back out there tomorrow. My brother-in-law is coming into town. We're gonna bless his baby. And we didn't get to see him last weekend when we were out in Mineola. So I got to make that 2.5-hour drive again this weekend. Wasn't planning on it. We were planning on having a date night, and we were going to go eat at this crab place and go to an arcade. And my wife was going to go to the spa on Sunday, but they're like, hey, we're coming into town. We're going to bless the baby. So we sorry, it's reading Ryan's comment. So we put all that on hold to go out and be with family for that. So we're still gonna have a good time out there in Mineola, Texas, baby. Let's go. But other than that, I've got to decide if I want to stay up for the Packers-Lions game or the TCU championship game or both. But
yeah,
we're gonna have to see. All right, guys. Well, that's our show. It's 8:20. My wife's like, "Hey, we gotta put the kids to bed." Night, Ryan. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for coming and commenting. You can come and comment on YouTube anytime we're on Tuesdays and Fridays. Appreciate your comments, and hope to have you on the show a couple times. You've been on here before, but anyways. All right, Craig. We'll hope you enjoy your weekend. I'm gonna enjoy mine. God bless, and
keep it
remember
outspoken.
to keep it outspoken.